Hi everybody. Today we're going to read chapters 4 and 5 of Old Ben. So far we have learned that Shan, our main character, made friends with an old black snake, and he took that snake home and he put it in his corn bin in the barn, and he introduced the snake to his best friend and his cousin Ward, and he told his mom about it, and his mom's not real sure how his dad is going to react. So we are on chapter 4, and it is called Old Blackie. So I wonder how old Blackie is going to react to this old Ben. The next morning, Shan woke at daybreak. He had been dreaming about old Ben, and he was worried. When his father called him to put crushed corn in the cows' feed boxes, he was ready. As they went out with old Blackie, the family's hunting dog, he was thinking how he would tell his father about old Ben. Old Blackie trotted along quietly with them. He was a mountain cur with short black hair that was turning white. He had a big mouth and a big head, but he had lost some of his teeth. He was 12 years old. When they reached the barn lot, before Shan could say anything, old Blackie held his head high and began to sniff. Suddenly, he ran for the corn bin and put his nose up in a crack between the planks. Uh-oh. He began to bark and growl. Then he grabbed a plank and tried to tear it off. "Stop that, Blackie," Shan's father scolded in a loud voice. "What's the matter with you? You're supposed to be a great hunting dog, and now you're barking at a mouse?" "Blackie isn't barking at a mouse," Shan said. "Yesterday I put a big black snake in the corn bin." "You did what?" his father said. He looked at Shan in disbelief. "Did you say you put a black snake in our corn bin?" "Yes, I put my pet black snake in there yesterday," Shan said. "Pet black snake? Have you lost your mind? I'll have to move 1,000 bushels of corn to find that snake." Since they had come out very early, Shan's father carried a lantern. He was a big, strong man, but now the lantern shook in his trembling hand. "Your mother comes to get the bin to get corn for the chickens. What if she sees that snake?" "She won't be afraid of him," Shan said. "Once you know him, you and Mother will love him." "That's what you think, son," his father said. "I feel just the same about a snake as old Blackie feels. And you see how he likes one. Quit your barking and growling now, Blackie, and stop tearing at that board. You'll break more of your teeth." Here's a good picture. "Are you sure he's in here?" he asked. "Maybe he crawled out between the planks and left. Maybe old Blackie was barking at a mouse." "No, Father. Old Ben is back in the corn getting fat on mice. I don't believe he'll ever leave this corn bin." "Well, you have a lot of faith in that snake," his father said. "But every wild creature likes its own way of life. I can't believe a black snake is any different. A black snake likes to spend the warm days in the sun in the company of its own kind. On cold days, it wants to go under the ground to sleep." "But, Father, no other wild creature I've ever tried to pet became so tame in such a short time," Shan asked. "Everybody always wants to kill a black snake. The first thing they do when they see a black snake is pick up a stone or a club and beat it to death. They don't even stop to think what a good friend a black snake may be." Shan's father put his arm around Shan's shoulder. "I've always done that too, Shan, but maybe you're right. We'll talk about it later. Now we better get feed to the cows. Your mother will have breakfast ready before we get back." And here they are looking in the corn bin for the corn bin, B-I-N, for old Ben, B-E-N. It's a little confusing. The next chapter is called A Snake at Work. Oh, I hope he earns his keep. Let's find out. Shan ate breakfast quickly and hurried back to the corn bin to find old Ben. When he opened the door, There was his new friend lying coiled in circles. Old Ben's head was up. When he saw Shan, out came his tongue. "Good morning, old Ben," Shan said. "You know it's my voice, don't you?" He held his arm down for old Ben to crawl up. "Hurry up, old Ben. Get around my neck and over my shoulders. My mother and father are coming to milk the cows, and they don't believe what I've been telling them. I'm going to show them what a real pet you are. I want you to meet them because when they know you, they'll be about the finest friends you've ever had." Just then, Shan's mother and father came into the barn lot. They stopped suddenly and didn't speak. They acted just the way Ward had when he saw old Ben around Shan's neck. "That's dangerous, my son," Shan's father said finally. "Maybe I'd better call old Blackie out here. He would finish that snake in a hurry." "Don't, father," Shan said. "See what a pet he is? He won't get down off my shoulders until I put him down. He likes it up here." "Do you know, Mick, I believe he is a pet," Shan's mother said in wonder. "Who ever heard of a pet black snake?" Shan's father asked. "What came over you to pick up a black snake when there are so many other things that you could find as a pet? It just isn't natural." As he talked, Shan's father walked up closer to Shan and old Ben. "That's a very old bull snake," he said. "What do you plan to feed him?" "He's big enough to swallow a half-grown rabbit. It'll take a lot to feed that snake as big as he is." "Well, you know a snake likes mice, father, and the mice are eating up the corn in the bin. Look how full and happy old Ben looks. I know he's had a good meal on mice already." "Well, it might be a good idea to leave him here to catch the mice at that, if he'll stay," his father said. "We lose about 80 bushels of corn a year in that bin, and I do keep my cats too fat." "Mick," Shan's mother said, I want you to let Shan keep old Ben." "That's just what I'm thinking of doing. If that snake doesn't eat all the mice in the corn bin, he'll scare them out. But Shan, I won't be responsible for what happens to him if he gets out in the barn lot." "He'll stay in the corn bin," Shan said. "Maybe we can give him a little milk every day too. I read that snakes in the zoo drink milk." "With mice to eat and warm milk to drink, I know he'll stay here." "All right," his father said. "We'll try it and see what happens." "Father, you've made me so happy," Shan said, "and I know old Ben is happy too." Shan put his hand on old Ben's head and stroked him. Shan's mother stepped backward. "Do you really trust him, son?" "I trust him," Shan replied. "Why don't you come closer and touch him like Ward did? He's looking the other way now." Slowly, Shan's mother stepped closer and slowly reached out to touch old Ben's back with the tips of her fingers. "Why, he's as soft as a new washed cotton dress before it's ironed," she said. "Mick, just touch old Ben once." "I don't like to touch a snake," he said. "But since you have, Sally, when he gets his head turned from me, I'll touch him too." Shan's father touched old Ben with his big rough hand. "You're right, his skin really is soft. It's as soft as warm water. I'm not afraid of him now, son. Put him across my shoulder if you want to. I won't hurt him unless he tries to hurt me." "He's not going to hurt you," Shan said. He laid old Ben on his father's shoulders. When old Ben crawled around his father's sunburned neck, Shan and his mother laughed. "You want me to take him down now, Father?" "Well, he feels pretty nice crawling around my neck." I like this picture. His dad finally got up the nerve to touch him. "I'd like to keep him there, but I do have to work. I don't have time to play with your old Ben now, but I think we're going to be friends." Shan lifted old Ben down and let him slide like a soft rope through his hands onto the floor. "I know there's an extra pan," Shan's mother said. "When we finish milking, we'll fill it with warm milk for him. I don't want him outside the corn bin. He might scare the chickens and the cows." He might scare them now, but just give old Ben time and he'll make friends with them, Shan said. They'll soon learn old Ben is a friendly snake. Everybody and every living thing around this barn, except the birds, will love old Ben. Old Blackie can learn, I guess, his father said, and maybe the horses in time. But not the hogs. You know what hogs will do to a snake, don't you? No, I don't, said Shan. They'll stomp him and eat him, his father said. Well, I sure didn't know that about hogs, Shan said. But the lot for our hogs is down below the barn. Old Ben won't be going down there. If he ever wants a drink of water, he's close to the barn. And if we give him milk night and morning, he won't even need to go looking for water. I hope you're right, his father said. Now let him go back into the corn. We have work to do, and so does old Ben. Well, I think that old Ben has a family now. It sounds like Mom and Dad and Shan are tickled to death that he's going to stay. I hope he can keep earning his keep. All right. Glad you all listened to the story today, and we'll read another chapter tomorrow. Love you guys. Miss you.